Manna Haven makes a big impact on a lot of different people's lives.
We actually are called to build relationships with people.
As I serve and use my talents, I can be a blessing as well with exactly the things that I love doing.
A centre of influence needs people of influence. And these people who have Jesus in their hearts and they've walked with Jesus for a long time, Jesus comes through.
It's been amazing to see a little tiny country church with such a big ministry
for sure.
pulled together in unity of mission, unity of purpose, to see every member of the church, and there's not very many, but to see every member loving people.
Come with us today and we'll show you how the Manna Haven Centre of Influence in Byron Bay, Australia reaches out to the community to serve them and love them with God's love.
Hi, my name is Melinda Archer and I'm an assistant chef at Manna Haven. I do most of the desserts, which I love doing, love developing vegan desserts, and I'm kind of a bit of a girl Friday. So when someone's away or sick, I come in and fill in. If there's any gaps, that's me.
I'm Julian Archer, and I just sort of help out around the place, whatever needs doing. I'm also the chair of the management committee for the Café, so we oversee staffing and making sure it's all operational, and the ministry focus of it, the mission of it, making sure that everything's in line. It's an absolute joy. Manna Haven is a cafe right on the main street of Byron Bay, and it's been there for about 15 years, and it's really frontline ministry in Byron Bay. A lot of people come in off the street. About 20,000 people a year come into the cafe, and most of them of course are just searching for good food, healthy food, but a lot of them are searching for something deeper than that as well.
And the beauty of it is that Manna Haven is a cafe that wraps around our church.
Byron Bay is one of Australia's favourite tourist destinations. There's around 2 million visitors a year that come through this little tiny town. It's the most easterly town in Australia. It's also a very spiritual place with people coming to search for something deeper in life. It's very well known for its wide range of spiritual practices. And here we are as a little Christian church right on the main street, and people who are searching spiritually will often come in just wondering whether this might be what they're searching for, and it's a beautiful opportunity for our team to minister to them, to show them God's love, to reveal God's character to them.
The spiritual landscape here in Byron Bay is so unique. There's a lot of diversity in the thought and just the type of people that this region attracts. I remember before even moving in here as a pastor, I was on the Facebook group just getting a sense as the type of things, conversations that are happening. And someone put up a question, I'm looking for somewhere to worship. And so as a Christian, I'm naturally thinking, okay, church members are going to get on there and share the different churches. And I was interested to know which Christians would be active in this group. 200 comments later, and there was no mention of Christianity. We had groups that were interested in worshipping themselves, meeting at this time and this time. There were people that worshipped crystals and energy, and they were meeting at this time and this location. And there was this whole plethora of options of things that could be worshipped, and Christ and the gospel and the church was nowhere mentioned anywhere. And so it was just interesting for me to get a gauge. That was one indication of the type of landscape that we have here. It does make the presentation of the gospel challenging, but there is also a lot of openness. People come here and they believe it to be a spiritual place. They say that there's a different energy about Byron Bay. It's a place of healing and this sort of thing. And so I think that for those that are open, there are opportunities for them to connect with the gospel in amongst all of these other various ideas that are floating around. And I believe that the gospel is transformative to the whole being. And I hope that their experience with our church and with our cafe is something that brings health and wholeness, not only for a period of time, but also for eternity as well.
Manna Haven makes a big impact on a lot of different people's lives. It can be anything from just introducing them to a healthy way of living that can improve their health over the years, through to introducing them to God and giving them spiritual hope and eternal life.
The first time I came here, I decided it was my favourite cafe, and the people are just so friendly, and the food is really high quality and the service is excellent. So I would recommend it to anyone. When people come in, they are going to be swayed by how beautiful the cafe is and the lovely nature of the people working here and the high quality of food and service.
Well, you know, really the food is brilliant, excellent, and good variety, good range of stuff every day, but the staff are also brilliant. Wonderful, friendly people, and I've got on so well with them for years.
This is the best vegan food in Byron Bay, and I know that because I hear people say that this is the best vegan food in Byron Bay. I know people, I overhear people because I'm like that, right? And this lady came with some people that she was showing the town to, you know, she was showing around the town, relatives or friends or something, or associates. And she said, okay, this is lunch, this is lunch central. You need to remember where this is, because this is everything you need to know, because everything else that is awful.
One of the key things for me is this idea that we are called to meet the needs of our community, and the only way that we can do that effectively as a church is if we know the needs of our community. And so for me, it's really important for us to have a meaningful point of interaction, rubbing shoulders with real people, to be able to assess felt needs. We actually are called to build relationships with people. The gospel is best shared in the context of relationship. And so I think it's really important for us to have, again, meaningful opportunities to rub shoulders with people, and for them to know that we care about them and we're interested in their well-being before we're interested in them putting money in the offering or whatever else that might be a barrier to them.
My favourite thing here at Manna Haven is just coming and being a part of a team that just loves to serve, and to be a part of the ministry and to be the hands and feet of Jesus in the community here. So just being able to receive people with a loving smile and to be able to serve them and just be of aid, and just get things up and running in the community to help them find that sense of belonging and that sense of community. That's my favourite part about my job here.
So like I have a dietitian and nutritionist background back in Brazil, and I always love cooking. So yeah, I found this position, and at first I was a bit scared because I didn't study to be a chef, but yeah, God opened the doors and I stepped forward and trusting, and I was just really praying about and yeah, asking Him for the direction. This was actually not my first option, but it turned out that He knew that this was the place for me. And once I got here, like I never heard about Byron Bay before or Manna Haven. I didn't know what it was about, but once I got here, I understood, you know, God knows me so well. He knows that I would be so happy serving Him here. And yeah, as I serve and use my talents, I can be a blessing as well with exactly the things that I love doing. So if you put yourself in a position that you allow Him to work through you, yeah, He can do a lot more than you can even imagine.
I was finished in uni. I'm a dentist. I was looking for opportunities to serve God. And I was looking I really like Australia, so I was looking for a place here that God has shown me that He has a plan for me. He opened the doors. He gave me the job that I need just to come here. It wasn't even applying, and someone called me, and it's been really good for my spiritual life just to have faith that God has something for us, and it doesn't matter where He is going to use us.
So I'm a volunteer here for a year, and yeah, I just got 1 year yesterday. It's a great privilege to be here. It taught me a lot of things, but mainly is to really depend on God, because as a volunteer, we don't receive like regular income with this one. We have stipend, but we depend on God. I depend on God financially, like, you know. But this experience has been like, I never experienced like I need something that God didn't provide. Like God always provide more than what I need. So like absolute reliance on Him in everything.
Before I discovered Christ, I was a musician, and I came up from Sydney in 2020 in January. There was no hint of a pandemic. A month later, nowhere to live, no jobs, no gigs, no festivals. Very difficult. It was a very difficult time to be in it, relocating, but it was also a blessing because Byron Bay is a beautiful place. A few months later, I was very confused. I was very lost because my rock and my plan for my life seemed to be gone. It seemed I had no foundation, which was this identity that I built around my career, which was growing and it was looking like it was about to take off. Meeting friends here got me into spiritual conversations in a different way. I had been doing meditation. I'd done 10-day silent meditations. So I had a sense of, I was a seeker. But I didn't really know what I was seeking. I knew God was part of many different options and I was interested in God. I knew Jesus, but I didn't know the Jesus that I know now. Julian said, a center of influence needs people of influence. You know, and these people who have Jesus in their hearts and they've walked with Jesus for a long time, Jesus comes through and He draws you in, and that's what I received. I was drawn in by Jesus and the people. Really, my story started with coming in here and seeing Julian. Now, Julian was recently working here, and I just felt a connection with him as a brother. He treated me like as a brother and as a friend, and he stuck with me. He stuck with me through some really hard times. I can't explain it except for some power beyond us, you know. It's beyond us that He could work in my life as a friend and as the brother that I needed. And it took 3.5 years from that point to being baptized. And it was a really beautiful journey. And he baptized me here in Byron Bay, where we go swimming every morning. It was very beautiful.
I think for me, the way that it has impacted my spiritual life is it's been amazing to see a little tiny country church with such a big ministry,
yes, for sure,
pulled together in unity of mission, unity of purpose, to see every member of the church, and there's not very many, but to see every member loving people, regardless of that person's background, regardless of what mental state they're in when they come in to church or to the cafe, to see every person loving every person has really opened my eyes to what the church might have looked like in Acts chapter 2, where everybody had everything in common and they just shared together and they just loved each other and they all had a single united mission. And so to me that's just had a beautiful impact on my personal life.